Well, hello. I'm here to talk to you about HEPA Portable Air Cleaners. These come in a variety of sizes and shapes with different bells and whistles, but at their heart, they are a fan and a filter. They are machines that use a HEPA filter, and you want to make sure it's using a true HEPA filter. There are folks that market HEPA-like filters that are not going to be as efficient at capturing those very small particles we're concerned about in wildfire smoke. Because when you think about wildfire smoke, we talk about particulate, it's 2.5 microns in diameter and smaller. It's really that and smaller fraction. And HEPA filters are going to be more efficient at removing more of those very small particles with each pass of air through the machine. So if you look at the inside of one of these machines, frequently you will have a black carbon filter that is supposed to remove VOCs, but really think of it more as a pre-filter that's going to capture the larger hair and whatnot you don't want to have on your filter, because there's so much VOCs in wildfire smoke. This is not going to actually do much for that. The HEPA filter itself is placed with an arrow typically pointing for the direction of the airflow. You can see there are a lot of pleats here. This is not a washable filter. You use it and then you throw it away. And they are typically rated for regular use in a home to be good for about a year. However, when we're talking wildfire season, when we have so much smoke in the air and it's going to be capturing so much material, you're likely going to need to change it during that wildfire season. So you want to keep that in mind, that as this gets dirty, you'll want to replace it. And the reason for that is when this filter fills up, the air will still find a way. It's like nature, it finds a way. And so when you have this filter in the machine and say it's full, the air can go around the sides because it's getting too much resistance, and then you just have dirty air coming out the exit, and that's not doing you any good. So when your filter's dirty, you want to replace it. So before wildfire season gets here, it's a good idea to stock up on at least one extra HEPA filter for your machine. Other things to keep in mind when you are looking at purchasing a portable air cleaner, make sure it does not produce ozone. There are some folks who sell air purifiers that use ozone that is very harmful to your health. The California Air Resources Board actually has a list of approved air cleaners, so you want to really just check against that list. You can Google it, it's super easy. And if they approve a filter air cleaner, that means it does not use ozone. Other thing to keep in mind is make sure that it's sized appropriately for the room that it's in. If you buy a really small air cleaner because it's cute and you think it looks nice and then put it in a giant room, it's not going to do you much good. You want to make sure that if your room size rating is only, say, 120 square feet, you only put it in a room that's 120 or a little bit more square feet, because you want the air in that room to be recirculated through that filter as many times as possible. That's why you close the doors, you close the windows, you shut it up, and let the air recirculate. Unfortunately, the larger the machine, typically the more expensive it becomes. So for some folks, you just want to get one, and then you put it in the room you spend the most time in, such as your bedroom. Also, keep in mind that it's only functioning while it's turned on. Some people find these to be too noisy, and so then they turn them off, and then you're not getting any benefit. Ideally, you want to have it turned all the way on. If that is too loud for you, if you can run it for some time before you go into the room that it's in, and then you can turn it down a little bit, or purchase a machine that's larger than you need, and you can use it on a slower stand speed and get that air circulated through. And then one last thing I like to let folks keep in mind when we're talking about room size, the room size rating is based on an 8-foot ceiling. And a lot of folks have vaulted ceilings or big cavernous spaces. And you want to keep that in mind if you're going to be trying to use a portable air cleaner to clean that space. You actually have a lot of that extra added volume of air that needs to be pulled through that filter. But these can work great if you have them sized appropriately for the room that they're in. You have them turned on. You have a clean HEPA filter in there. You can have fantastic removal of particulate from that room and a much safer place to be breathing the air.